We begin tonight here with that horrific crash at LaGuardia Airport, the deadly collision on the runway, an Air Canada Express passenger jet slamming into a fire truck. That fire truck had been given the okay to cross the runway. Late today, ABC News obtaining this chilling video here showing the moment that passenger jet crashed into the truck on the runway, moments after touching down. And tonight, audio from the air traffic control tower suggesting a controller in those final seconds urgently tried to then get that truck to stop. He could be heard saying stop over and over again. The two pilots killed, a flight attendant reportedly still strapped into the jump seat, ejected onto the runway. More than 40 passengers rushed to the hospital. The two firefighters in that truck surviving, raced to the hospital too with broken bones. Tonight, the NTSB on the scene, preliminary data showing the plane was going up to 105 miles per hour just before impact. With the pilots dead and the flight attendant ejected from the plane, passengers turning to one another to help each other, describing the chaos and escaping down that wing. ABC's Gio Benitez leading us off tonight from LaGuardia Airport.
Tonight, horrifying surveillance footage posted online shows the moment an Air Canada Express jet slammed into a fire truck as it crossed the runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport. The NTSB now on the scene, poring over the mangled wreckage of the first deadly crash at LaGuardia in more than 30 years. It happened at around 11:40 p.m. after authorities say air traffic controllers granted a Port Authority fire truck permission to cross runway 4 to respond to a separate incident, a United Airlines plane reporting an odor in the cabin. Listen to Truck 1 talking with the tower.
Truck 1 and Company LaGuardia Tower requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company crossing 4 at Delta.
So it's the tower's fault. It's the tower's fault. They were told that they could cross 4. So, you know, if we're going to start initiating a sequence of passing out blame, then it would be the tower's fault because they told Truck 1 that they could cross 4.
But at that very moment, Air Canada Express Flight 8646 from Montreal was coming in for a landing on that very same runway. Listen to the controller trying to tell the truck to stop.
Stop, Truck 1, stop. Stop, Truck 1, stop.
But it was too late, as that surveillance video posted to X shows. There was no time for the plane to stop or abort the landing.
Damn.
Preliminary data from Flight Radar 24 shows that the plane was traveling between 93 and 105 miles an hour at the moment of impact.
We were honestly sleeping and then landing, and then all of a sudden, boom, woke up in shock.
We were a couple rows behind first class, and it was everything at the front of the plane was pretty messed up.
Jet 646, I see you collide with a vehicle there. Just hold position. I know you can't move. The vehicles are responding to you now.
Passenger Jack Cabot shooting these video clips as passengers climb down off the wings. And in this short selfie video, you can see the moment the nose of the plane tipped upward. Watch again closely as the passengers move to the rear of the cabin to escape. One flight attendant was reportedly found outside the plane, alive and still strapped in their jump seat. Authorities confirming the pilot and co-pilot did not survive.
I want to extend my sympathies to the families of the two pilots. These were two young men at the start of their careers.
41 of the 72 passengers were taken to area hospitals, and inside that fire truck, 2 Port Authority officers surviving as well, taken to the hospital with broken bones. Listen.
Yeah, if you're in something like that, no matter if you feel fine or anything like that, you need to go to the hospital. Even the jarring of the plane crashing into the truck and, could give you some whiplash or something like that to the point where you don't know it at first. But, so you should get checked out. It's a traumatic incident, so definitely go see a doctor or something like that after something like that. Crazy.
To the air traffic controller speaking with a Frontier pilot who witnessed the collision, telling that pilot, "I messed up."
That wasn't good to watch.
Yeah, I know I was here. I tried to reach out to my stuff, and we were dealing with an emergency earlier. I messed up.
No, man, you did the best you could.
This was a very busy night with a lot going on. The weather was bad. There was an emergency aircraft that the fire crew was trying to get to. It's not hard to see how a mistake could have been made.
And amid a nationwide shortage of air traffic controllers, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy addressing reports that there was only one controller in the tower at the time of the crash.
I've heard the rumor that there was only one controller in the tower, and that's not accurate.
So let's bring in Gio Benitez with us live tonight from LaGuardia. And Gio, you reported there that flight attendant ejected from the plane, still strapped into their seat, the 2 pilots killed. And you think about all those passengers on board who had to work together to get themselves off the plane.
Yeah, David, they were essentially on their own. These passengers trying to figure out how to get off the plane, how to open those doors on their own. But David, we saw a real miracle here with that flight attendant who was ejected. Apparently, we're told she's going to be okay.
That is good news. We're thinking about the families of those pilots and everyone on board, and the 2 firefighters as well in that truck. What a horrific scene, Gio. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's horrific, man. And you know, it's, you know, prayers out to the pilots who lost their lives. You know, just a horrific thing. And I mean, it just, with everything that's happening when it comes to airports and TSA and, you know, crashes and pilots, you know, it just really feels like there's some entity out there trying to stop us from flying. You know, there's so many of my friends and family that are not flying around right now like we usually would because of the whole TSA situation. You know, the whole idea that we're going to be stuck at the airport for some extended period of time because there's not enough TSA agents. And now we're talking about true safety of people who are in these planes, on these flights, where it be the pilot to a passenger, when it comes to having enough controllers in the towers, watching and monitoring, make sure everything is going correctly. And, you know, they tried to slide in there that it was just one controller up there. He was responsible for everything. And, you know, it was a, you know, rainy night, lots of emergencies. So, you know, they want to give this young man grace on the mistake he made. But of course, we can admirably see that the mistake was made, that he told the truck that the truck could cross when in actuality the truck shouldn't have been crossing at that moment. And it's just horrific, you know. I don't know, it's just a referendum on, you know, flying and airports and, you know, and planes. It's just a situation where we're seeing just way too many crashes. You know, and of course, that's partially to the fact that we're on social media and there's so many places that you can get this information from. But we're seeing so many crashes, so many problems with staffing at these airports, where it be TSA, where it be controllers, where it be anybody who works at these airports. There's a lot of flux when it comes to airport safety, airport security, the workers in the towers and the controllers. That is in a lot of flux, and it's been in a lot of flux definitely because of what we're dealing with when it comes to this government shutdown, this semi-government shutdown as it is. And we knew that it was going to be a problem due to the last government shutdown we had, where we had all of the same problems in our airports and our, you know, trying to get from one place to another. I got caught in that. A lot of my friends got caught in that, and this is bad. This is bad. I would say that I would hope, or I would want that our airports and our safety when it comes to flying, all these things would be priority when it comes to the government. And it would be a situation where you couldn't stop paying these people a fair wage and, you know, not cause them to have to quit or find other employment because they're getting paid. You know, it seems like to me that as much as we've seen how important our TSA agents are, our airports are for our safety and for everybody's safety, that we should, you know, as a group or as this government should put in some safety nets to keep these people working and employed and getting paid. Because the simple fact that they're having all these problems paying TSA agents, they're having all these problems keeping TSA agents at the airports and paying controllers and keeping controllers at the airport, this in itself, with situations like this, should tell us how important it is to maintain a situation where these people are never in a situation where they're not getting paid. Because let's face it, with all of the people who quit working as TSA agents and controllers and all these other jobs, the people who are filling in, in most cases are not people who have done this for a long period of time, who have a tremendous amount of experience in this field, and it's causing lots of problems. It's causing lots of deaths. And that's what we really have to stop, my friends. All right, guys, I'm going to let y'all go and get up out of here. I am Chris Surratt. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Car Concierge Show. Please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Hit me in the DMs if you have any questions, and I'm out. Peace.